When it comes to the doping, would you do it again?
This is the most, I get this question a lot. And it's a very complicated question, and my answer is not a popular answer. You know, if I was racing in 2015, no, I wouldn't do it again, because I don't think you have to do it again. If you take me back to 1995, when it was completely and totally pervasive, I'd probably do it again. People don't like to hear that.
But that's the honest answer.
Yeah, that's the honest answer. It's an answer that needs some explanation. And it's, I mean, I look at everything, you know, when I made that decision, when my teammates made that decision, when the whole peloton made that decision. Like, we get it. It was a bad decision in an imperfect time, but it happened. When Lance Armstrong did that, I know what happened because of that. I know that, I know what happened to the sport of cycling from 1990 to 2005. I saw the better voices to answer that question are the guys I raced with. I don't know. Let's ask Jan Ulrich. Let's ask Zula. Ask. You have 200 guys a year for 7 years. You have 1,400, theoretically 1,400 guys. Let's ask them.
The fact the shirts are on the wall suggests you're not embarrassed by that. You feel you won them in a way fair and square because it was a level playing field. Is that how you feel ultimately? Because I put it to you that it wasn't a level playing. That's the problem with doping, is that it does create, you know, DPO. It's not easy, is it, to get that, to get it to work effectively. You need clinics. You need very well trained doctors. Expensive, you know, and the richest teams probably were better equipped than other teams to benefit more from drugs, and therefore we don't know who was the best rider. Right. It may well have been you. Is that fair, or do you still feel you were the best? I mean,
rider? I would love to have. Look, I think it was a level playing field. I think as unfortunate as it was, I think our system was pretty dang conservative. But it doesn't change. It was just an unfortunate time for any of us, and there was no, listen, the Postal Service, let's not forget, I mean, everybody sits here today and, oh, Lance Armstrong is this and and all this money and power. When we started out, we were my first Tour de France, I was number 181, which means you were literally you were a wild card entry. This was a small, low budget, you know, low science team. There was no, New York Yankees weren't rolling in here. I mean, at the end, yes, it was a big team, but it was something that we built over time. That's just not true. That's not reality of the way it was.
When it comes to the doping, would you do it again?
This is the most, I get this question a lot. And it's a very complicated question, and my answer is not a popular answer. You know, if I was racing in 2015, no, I wouldn't do it again, because I don't think you have to do it again. If you take me back to 1995, when it was completely and totally pervasive,
you said earlier on
probably do it again.
You're getting close now, you felt, to that time when it's appropriate for people to feel it's time to move on. I mean, some would say, you know, they'd say that's not good enough. You know, what sort of message would that send out to anybody tempted, as you said, they may well be in the future? Is there a danger that by forgiving you, it would send the wrong message out?
And the hundreds of others thousands of others that have been forgiven? You got to have one. We have to make one example. That's the way our system is going to work. Because if that's the deal, if everybody says, if we all agree that we're going to make one example, everybody did the same thing, but we're going to make one example and we're good, then I'll be that guy. I don't think everybody thinks that way. But if we think, okay, that's it, we're hanging one dude, give him the news.